So you got Amico fever. That's good. That's real good. Because you know I got the medicine.
Alright guys, well let's break this email down. I'm going to show you how dedicated I am to this game over here. I just finished giving the baby a bath. And I'm over here going over this email for you, breaking it down, right? And what I did is I highlighted their statements and then I'm breaking down what it actually means to me, right? My opinion based on my knowledge of whatever knowledge I have, okay? So the first line here that brings anything to my attention is a long list of disappointments from both inside, aka throwing Tommy under the bus, right? You know, a lot of Tommy defenders will say, well, Tommy couldn't have foreseen what happened with the coup and chip shortage and all that. And my friends, you're absolutely wrong. That's exactly what the job of a CEO is. That's why they get so much money. That's why you see these big payoffs and golden parachutes and all the stuff that they give, because it's a very unique talent that you have to have. Whatever you're a CEO for, you need to be able to tell where the industry is going so your company can be in the best position to make the most amount of money. It's not a talent that I have. I know what it is. I couldn't do it, right? That's not part of my skill set, or I'd be a very, very rich man. And most CEOs are very wealthy if they are good at that particular job. But Tommy just declared himself a CEO. And you can see what the results are. Okay, the next word here that really stands out is reevaluating, right? It means that you're thinking about changing course, right? And they use the word every. Every means nothing is off the table, right? Every aspect of the business, which included the path that laid ahead for Intelivers, right? So they're evaluating every sector of the business. Let me tell you this, guys. It looks like he got assessment here. Assessment that wasn't here prior, right? If Tommy was a great CEO, the first thing he should have done as soon as COVID hit is shut everything down and fire everybody. That's really what should have happened, right? If he was really serious about just producing a product, but he was more interested in raising money. So this is the next line here. It is the experience between people sitting in the same room that will be our primary measure of success, right? So putting out the console is no longer the measurement of success, right? What is their measurement of success? It is the experience between people sitting in the same room that will be our primary measure of success. How that happens, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. There is your mission statement by the CEO. That is what he wants to do, right? And furthermore, he states on this email, as an entertainment business, that's very different from being a manufacturer, very different from being a console manufacturer. We realize that creating great content, right, forget consoles, requires world-class partners and a focus on strategies where we can effectively achieve the necessary level of excellence to succeed. Success is measured by content, not the production of goods. Again, he's reiterating the point here. Right? Now, there's a very, very important word here. Actually, two words. Captures the Amico experience, right? You can capture an experience virtually, right? This is the way they're going. They want to capture the experience, the vision of having people playing together, however that may be, right? But it's no longer what it used to be, and he told you that at the beginning of the message, right? And here down below, that ensures the delivery on Amico, which now is the Amico experience, right? So he's leaving the door open here all kinds of different ways so he can have a lot of wiggle room, right? And then he tells you what he plans to do for that. Now here is where he actually puts it down clearly for those people who don't want to understand, who do not understand. What has changed is our philosophy on how to deliver that experience. Because it's all about the Amico experience now, right? Think of it as the Xbox Game Pass, and Xbox saying, well, we probably can't catch up in consoles now, right? Think of it that way. This is the primary goal of this company now, is to deliver the Amico experience, whatever that may be. And also think, right, that Amico experience is a separate entity. It's no longer a console. Not only that, it's no longer the same venture. This has to be a different company. Absolutely, you need to set everything up. So that's not making consoles. The business environment is quite different from what it was in 2018. Holy shit, that five years ago, when the original Intellivision business plan was put together. Right? So he's telling you right here, the old business plan is absolute shit. It's crap. Right? Absolute crap. You can't depend on that. We cannot solely depend on traditional hardware console business model. Right? He's telling you they're going to pivot here. Right? This is very, very important. The cost and time to scale such a business is too great. Right? He's telling you it's too much money to produce that model. If the cost is too great, it is not achievable. What is the purpose of a business? Is to make money. And if you're making something that is too great, at too great of a cost, you're not going to make money. Right? We must be more creative on how to deploy our intended entertainment experience. Not only delivering a better experience for our customers, but also reducing the time and cost to scale the business. AKA not making Tommy's Homer's car, right? This console with all the bells and whistles. They need to pivot from that. We want to assure our fans that shipping a console remains part of our product strategy. Shipping a console, not this console, but a console. The development and on-hand testing of our pilot units. Now this right here, guys, this right here is the reason that I made this video. Right? These are no longer test units. These are pilot units. In a manufacturing sense, that is huge. That is really huge. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here on this nerdy shit because I need you to understand what this means. When you're using pilot units, that is in manufacturing, it's always referring to R&D work. Right? R&D work where you're doing all the research, you're doing the planning. And what happens in R&D? R&D is prior to final approval. Right? They don't have any approvals from any government entities as far as I know right now. And that's where you're doing your R&D. But what can happen in R&D that is completely within any manufacturing standard? In R&D, you have the power to reject the entire project. That is, part of any manufacturing business. You can start an R&D project. You're trying to make these consoles, and at the end you find out, hey, you know what? These things run too hot. They might explode, and nothing's going to go right. And this is not unusual in the video game industry. Nobody would fault them for rejecting the project during R&D. I'll give you a perfect example. What was it? What is it? Toasters and Chainsaws was a game that was almost out, right, by Taito. It's a famous game. You can look it up, and you're not going to find the game. You're going to find like a commercial or something about it. That game got scrapped at the last minute because it didn't pass muster. It got rejected at the final moment because it just didn't work. So all that work, all that effort went out the door, right? So this is a great way of getting out of anything, right? The unit failed on it in R&D, right? And we have to go back to the drawing board, whatever that is. It could be that they scrap it completely, right? Their engineers could say, you know what, this is not going to work. We just have to start from zero. Or we can change a few things and move forward, whatever that is, right? This is a big out in manufacturing. Not only is it a big out, it's a big legal out. It's a huge legal out when you reject these units because you think they're not going to pass muster with the government. Then he goes on to say, yada yada about Shark, and somebody's going to have a video. Okay, the Amico experience to other hardware platforms, starting with mobile devices, under the name Amico Home, a separate entity, aka if I owe you money, I don't know you. This company doesn't know you. This is a separate entity, right? As well they should. If you're just going to go Amico and you're going to call this Amico home and it's going to be all cell phones, it means that investors, you're not getting shit, right? Amico home will dramatically reduce the hardware footprint needed to enjoy Amico games, right? Making games that don't require consoles so investors can fuck off, basically, right? You're not getting anything, okay? And then the other thing that caught my eye, it says the opportunity to provide the creative potential of in-room multiplayer games with our innovative physical, right, and smartphone controllers. Now, innovative physical means that they can license out the D-pad, for example. Look, Old Man Cringe everywhere can say anything they want, but that D-pad is a really good idea, right? You can actually license the controller out at no cost to you. Just, give it to @Games or whoever the hell and say, try to make this, right? We'll give you the license for the D-pad, make it, and, we can share in the profits, right? Zero cost to them. They own the patent, they license it out, and they go from there, right? And it doesn't matter what any Old Man Cringe says out there, guys. Oh, I'm not buying this and that and the other. If they're YouTubers, they will buy it, right? If they're degenerate game hoarders like me, on day one, that overpriced controller, which is probably going to be around $200, I can tell you that right now. If they do it right, if they try to produce the Amico controller with enough memory, basically making a cell phone with the wheel, it's going to be around $200. And everybody's going to bitch and moan, but at the end of the day, we're going to be on our knees, getting slapped by our pimp, and handing over $200. That's exactly what's going to happen, okay? And they end the email here at the very end saying, again, the Amico experience, right? You're not going to get the Amico, you're going to get the Amico experience. That is what's most important of this email to me, the way I see it. You have the power to reject. You have new entities being created here, right? Which means you don't have to pay anybody else. Which means you could actually BK the old companies. Which also means you can scrap the console as it exists now, because now it's just a pilot unit. Right? There's a lot here that tells me that Intellivision has gotten professional engineering help, professional manufacturing help, and they're serious about moving forward with the experience, which is really just software, and letting everything else go by the side. That's why I think that the Intellivision Amico console as we knew it is dead. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me know what you think. I'm glad I was able to bring you this Amico booster shot. See how I'm putting it? See how I'm putting it? I'm family-friendly content now. Amico booster shot for that fever. Thank you for stopping by. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.